Before the earth knew names, there was a being. It was not man nor woman, but both. It was light and shadow held in a perfect, fragile balance. Some called this being Sophia, for its wisdom was as deep as the starless void. Others whispered the name Lilith, for its spirit was untamed, wild as the first winds that swept across the barren lands. This being walked alone, not in loneliness, but in completeness. It knew the songs of creation because it had sung them. It understood the language of the cosmos because the words were its own breath. Its heart beat with the rhythm of the universe, a steady, powerful pulse that echoed in the silent, waiting world. It was whole. It was everything. In this state of serene unity, the being experienced a love that was pure and absolute. It was a love directed inward, a perfect understanding of its own nature. There was no need for another, for it was its own companion. It held conversations between its masculine and feminine halves, a dialogue of perfect harmony. The masculine side, which would one day be called Ishmael, was the anchor. It was the logic, the strength, the unyielding stone against which the tides of chaos broke. The feminine side, the soul that would become Kafiera, was the water. It was the passion, the intuition, the ceaseless creative energy that gave birth to dreams and desires. Together, they were poetry. They were a universe unto themselves. This love was the engine of its existence. It was reflected in the world it shaped. Mountains rose from the earth not in violence, but as a gentle sigh. Rivers flowed not by force, but as a tender caress across the land. The first flowers bloomed as a manifestation of its inner joy, their colors a vibrant testament to the beauty it held within. For an age that mortals cannot comprehend, this was the state of things. A singular divine entity, content in its own skin, its own power, its own love. There was no jealousy, for there was nothing to covet. There was no hate, for there was no other to despise. It was a time of profound peace, a time before the first crack appeared in the mirror of its soul. But perfection, even divine perfection, is a delicate thing. It is a high note held for so long that it must eventually tremble. The universe craves motion, it craves change. Even in this idyllic state, a seed of something new was waiting to sprout. The masculine and feminine energies, so long in harmony, began to feel the pull of their own distinct natures. The stone began to wonder what it was to be water. The water began to yearn for the stillness of the stone. This curiosity was not yet a flaw. It was the first innocent stirring of a story that would one day set the world ablaze, a story of a love so powerful it would have to break itself in two just to be understood. The change began as a whisper, a subtle shift in the perfect harmony. The half that was Kafiera began to feel a strange new emotion. It watched the Ishmael half, its strength, its certainty. It saw how the world bent to its logic,